Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Audrey and today we are playing on my island of Gingersnap. It is the 11th day, which I cannot believe it's the 11th day. It's also Monday, alright? So when you watch this and you see how strange my little character is acting, just keep in mind that it's a Monday and I had a case of the Mondays today, which is such a boomer thing to say, but it is in fact true. I was like, my brain just like could not think. And I know I always say like, oh, my head's empty, I just run on vibes. I wasn't running on vibes, I was running on fumes. I just sometimes like your head just doesn't work, and today was one of those days for me. I just could not think straight. So if things look a little, like, oh, why is she doing that? I don't know why I was doing that, to be honest. And so we're just gonna deal with it. Today I do this tiny little hot chocolate truck build because I was prepping up for the next like 2 big builds that I want to do. So I had to terraform a bunch of I guess I was waterscaping, I wasn't terraforming. I had to move the like river and where it runs through. This was me kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. So I needed to move it, and I could just get rid of it. It's my island. It's not like I have to have the river running through it, but I don't, for some reason, to me, I feel like you have to have a little river situation on your island. That's how these things work, I don't know why my brain functions like this, but it does. And so I decided that I knew that this needed to be changed. I didn't like where it was, so I did a lot of terraforming the river over, and this probably took all of my brain capacity at the time. Like, my brain could not handle another task today, so that's why the build I did today was so small. I thought it turned out cute. I didn't have exactly the items I needed for it because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted for it, because my brain wasn't working today. Head empty, running on fumes, nothing was working for me. So I kind of just connected these together. I don't know how great that it looks, but it's here, and that's where it's going to live, and that's how it's going to look. I do think it should be like one more wide. I don't know why, but when the rivers go diagonally like this, they don't ever look quite right to me. And I was also just connecting them, and I realized that I wanted to get rid of that whole section of river up there. So like, what was I doing? Do you ever have moments like that? So I did clear it all out, and I prepped up for the next 2 builds. And although I have the next 2 like big builds in mind, what I want to do, I think tomorrow, I think we need to do a villager hunt, because we have 2 empty plots that we can sell, and then we have 2 villagers I don't really want. So tomorrow, my goal will probably be to get the remaining 2 villagers for the island and go on a little villager hunt for them. And then later on in the month, later on in this challenge situation, we'll focus on getting rid of Drift and Plucky. If they stay forever, it's okay. I'm also not the biggest fan of Chatter. I don't really want him to stay, but he's not that bad. But I don't know, he's not what I had in mind. So we might try to kick him out too. But that feels like a lot of villager hunting. But I like to villager hunt. I think they're fun to watch, and they're definitely fun to do. So this was me figuring out how much of the map I had done. It was still only like the first quarter of it. But I think the next 2 builds will definitely be like the next third, maybe even more, because they're big. What I have in mind, it's pretty large. And so I'm excited for it. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But you guys were saying in the comments that I should have Ione on this island because she would just be perfect. And like, Ione is perfect in every conceivable way. I love her. She's a perfect glowing squirrel with a glowing tail, and someone said she looks like kind of like an aurora borealis, and I love that. That is so true, and it's so cute. She's our little space girl, I like her a lot. So I would definitely like her. I'm excited to villager hunt on this island. I feel like I'm getting a lot of villagers I wouldn't normally get, not because I don't like them, but because I always kind of go with the same theme. So that's why I was so excited to get like Poppy and Eric. And you know, the classic cuties, I always have to get them. Like if I see Raymond, I have to get Raymond. You know what I mean? I know some people think Raymond is overhyped, but to be honest, like I completely understand the Raymond hype. I think I will say people were really like losing their minds for that little cat villager when the game first came out. That was a lot. I don't think we needed to quite lose our minds that much, but you know, to each their own. I'm not judging that harshly. I shouldn't say I'm not judging. I'm judging like a tad bit, you know, but can you blame me? People were absolutely losing it for Raymond. And of the like favorite villagers that people have had throughout time, I feel like in New Leaf, everybody was crazy for Marshall. And I don't know if Marshall was new for New Leaf or not. I have a feeling he was. People were going nuts for Marshall at the time. Like Marshall was the Raymond. People still love him, obviously, but I understood the Marshall hype. I love the little frown. I love that he's like a cute little white squirrel. And like I get the Raymond hype, but I don't know. I feel like the Marshall hype was like, it was a reasonable level of hype, and I feel like the Raymond hype was maybe not. Is that going to be a controversial statement? Do you guys remember star fragment trees? I miss the star fragment trees. Like that was a moment, and of course it had to be ruined by people who don't like fun. You know what I mean? Like just let people have fun and leave them alone. I am starting to incorporate fruit trees a little bit more. I don't know how I feel about pears. I know some people hate the pears. I don't hate them. I think they're quite cute. And they are green, which is a Christmas color, but I don't know. They're not doing it for me. So I think I'm going to add apples. The only problem is that every island I do, if I want to have a fruit tree around, I always make it an apple tree. And so I was trying to maybe not do that, but I have been obviously avoiding using the pear trees because I don't really like how they look. So I'm gonna have to go with the apple trees. I like the cherries because they're red and the other fruits are not green or red, so they don't do it. But the cherries just don't have the same, I don't know, je ne sais quoi as the that was so silly. They don't have the same like effect as the apples. The apples just, they're perfect, you know, they just look so good the way that they are. So I'm definitely gonna add the apples as my like secondary hardwood tree because it's getting a little samey. I need something to break it up, and I'm not feeling the pears. Also, a lot of this was just me making this transition area, and I realized I had that big patch of land right there, and I could have just made it more trees and bushes and transition area, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do a tiny little build there. So I put the little hot chocolate truck there, and I will say, you'll see it more as we build. That is definitely a work in progress. It's not perfect, and I didn't spend a lot of time on it because I was so tired this day. Like yesterday, I was like feeling good. I was so excited to play Animal Crossing. I didn't even feel a little bit burnt out about the whole challenge, which I don't feel burnt out about the challenge. I was just a little tired today. You know what I mean? Like if you work on something every single day, some days you're gonna have off days, and that's just a part of life. And what do you think I was doing here? Why am I sat here staring for so long? I will say I did spend a long time like thinking about the items that I should have and where I should put them, and I don't know why I wasn't just placing stuff to see if I liked it. I was like, no, it has to look exactly like this, and then it didn't even turn out exactly how I had it in my mind, because I think if I had more stuff going on around it, it would look good. But because the whole area that I'm going to build next is obviously not built yet. It looked a little empty. So one day it'll look full. This whole island is a work in progress. Like, I'm not treating it like every build I do is like, all right, I'm never touching it after this. Like, if I don't have something quite right, I can always go back and change it and fix the little details. And so I'm trying to keep that in mind so I don't have like a perfectionist attitude towards the whole thing, because I think that's like the better way to go. Same with, I'm not gonna edit it out, but I did go to a lot of treasure islands today, and I wasn't exactly sure how I was gonna do this build or what I wanted. So I did kind of just like wander around and look and like think about it and then not grab it, and then wander around and look and think about it and then not grab it. And then finally I was like, no, I need to make a decision. So I did eventually make a decision, but yeah, my brain was not in like make decision mode, like build in Animal Crossing mode. It was in like, I'm sleepy, I want nap mode, you know? So I probably should have, like, I don't know. I don't even know what I should have done. You know, not every day is a perfect day. We all have off days. It's a part of life. So I'm not even that upset, but I am excited to hunt for villagers tomorrow. I mean, I've already told you kind of what I'm looking for, and you can kind of guess the wintry villagers that I'm on the hunt for. Like I mentioned, like I like Ione. I like all the wolves. Like, I think Fang looks so great. Like, I love that I have Lobo on the island, and I love Wade, and I love Rolled. But my problem is that I love Aurora and I love Sprinkle too, and I think if I saw either of them I would take them, and that is a lot of penguins to have on one island. And I don't know, should I not just have an island full of penguins? But like, I don't think I would put a penguin on my island any other time, so I feel like it's warranted to put all these penguins on my island because the penguins are cute and they're wintry and they're kind of festive. And I'm trying to think of another villager that screams like Christmas. I think Pecan also does, not as much as Poppy, but other than that, like, I can't really think of one. But there's definitely ones that are like holiday looking, you know what I mean, or like winter core, wintry villagers. But I don't know how I feel about the deer. Like, to me, the deer scream fall, but if I saw Fauna, like, I'm taking Fauna, you know what I mean? Like, I can't just pass up Fauna. I know everybody has her on her island, but it's because she's cute. Same with Shino. Shino's wintry to me, and I just love her so much. She's one of my absolute favorite villagers of all time. It's her and Genji are my top two. Who's your favorite villager? Because I know everybody has a favorite and they all feel very strongly about it, and I love that. I think it's like fun hearing what people's favorite is and like why. I just like Genji because he's grumpy. I love when they're grumpy looking, and his little blushy cheeks, and he's just everything. And he was on my island Komorebi like from day one, and he just perfectly fit my theme, and so I've just completely fallen in love with him, even though he's a jock villager, which I sometimes think the jock villager dialogue is funny, but like, it gets tiring, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I get it, you've done, 100 sit-ups and 100 push-ups, and you ran 100 kilometers or whatever. 100, what was One Punch Man's exercise? Kilometers sounds ridiculous. There's no way you could do kilometers in a day. 100 kilometers in a day? There's no way. Could you? I don't know kilometers. What is... Hold on. Guys, my American is showing. We're gonna look this up right now because I can't stand to know. 100 kilometers, what is that in miles? 100 kilometers in miles. It's 62 miles. Brother, that's like 3 marathons. I mean, it's less than 3 marathons, but still, could you imagine doing 3 marathons a day? That would take, I don't know, 12 hours? No, 12. It would take over 12 hours, that's for sure. It would take 12 hours if you were like a mega athlete, I feel. Anyways, I don't even know where I was going with all of this, but yes, I like Genji. And then Shino arrived on the scene with the 2.0 update, and she stole my heart. I've never liked is she Peppy? I think she's Peppy. I did not like that personality type until it was Shino, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally get it now, because she is a star. She's a star. I was about to start screaming, no, I'm a star, like Pearl did in that movie. Pearl? Like Pearl did in the movie Pearl? Can you believe that? Anyways, I don't know what I'm on about. So if I saw her, I would take her immediately. I love her so much. She's perfect in every way. I don't know why. I guess I just like the super themed villagers, and they go on my forever island, Komorebi, which I play a lot on, obviously. So it all makes sense as to why I would like those villagers so much. I've spent a lot of time with them. So yeah, let me know what your favorites are. Because sometimes, like, something new comes out and it's great, and you don't want to make the new thing your favorite because you have a special place for the old thing, because you have nostalgia for the old thing, right? So, for instance, okay, I love Genji so much because he's great, right? I've had him on different towns in Animal Crossing, and I've had him on Komorebi this entire time, so I love him. But then Shino showed up, and I was like, well, I can't just abandon Genji for Shino, but also I love Shino so much, and honestly, I like her more, but I feel bad abandoning Genji. I know that they're just pixels on a screen, and they don't have feelings, okay? I swear I understand this. I'm just being dramatic because it's fun to be dramatic sometimes. I would say all the time, I love to be overly dramatic. It's one of my greatest hobbies is overreacting and being over dramatic. Have you noticed that I do that? Have you? Maybe? Have you not? Man, I just watched myself walk back and forth on my island real quick, and I do like how it's coming out. I love the holiday vibes. I love decorating for holidays so much. What's your favorite holiday? Because if you were to ask me, I would say Halloween. But I love Christmas too. I love any holiday where you decorate. You know what I mean? Because when you ask people what their favorite holiday is, I feel like they're either going to say Christmas or they're going to say Halloween. And if they don't celebrate Christmas, I feel like we always like the winter holiday that we celebrate, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And I'm talking about like here in America. I'm sure in other countries and other cultures, you know, they don't always celebrate Christmas, and they also have big fun holidays that I'm completely unaware of. So, but like, is anybody's favorite holiday Thanksgiving? Like, I like that I eat a lot on Thanksgiving, but it's not like, oh, it's Thanksgiving season, I'm so excited, you know what I mean? But like Halloween, my house is decked out in holiday decorations and Halloween decorations. I'm watching Over the Garden Wall. I'm watching Halloween Town. You know what I mean? I'm watching The Nightmare. I guess The Nightmare Before Christmas, I watch more during Christmas than I watch during Halloween. Do you think The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Because I feel like it's a Christmas movie. I mean, it's both, right? But I feel more like I'm inclined to watch it during Christmas than I am during Halloween. I also, speaking of holiday movies, I don't know why, I was just thinking about The Grinch, that live action Grinch movie. I like that movie a lot. When the Grinch like gets bullied and his heart like shrinks and he's like the Grinch, you know what I mean? That makes me sad that he was bullied. Like I get sad for him. Does anybody else? And then when his heart grows like 3 sizes bigger or whatever, I'm like, oh my god. I'm so happy for him. I don't know why. I just like, you know, I feel for him. I don't think anybody should be bullied in school like that or laughed at like that. That's not fun and that's not nice. And Cindy Lou Who really helped him get his Christmas cheer back. Yeah. I don't know. I also like Elf. Elf is a really good one. That's a fun one. I don't know. I like them all. I'm sure there's one that I probably don't like, but I can't think of it, to be honest. I can't think of one that I've seen that I haven't liked. I don't really watch the Hallmark ones. I watched that Lindsay Lohan one last year, and I had a good time. It's not like it was a fantastic, groundbreaking movie, but I had a good time. And that's what Christmas movies are about, all right? They're not about being, super thought-provoking or anything. They're about being a good time. And that is all that matters. So anyways, we are nearing the end. So if you want to see me tomorrow, I will be back. I will hopefully be doing a villager hunt. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow brings. If you like the video, please like it. If you want to see me tomorrow, subscribe. And in the next clip, I'll show you the build as it is. And I'm excited for all of that. And I will see you guys tomorrow.